In this video, I'm taking an Indian Railways train journey with my Desi doggo Bambi.
In Indian society, train journeys are an extremely nostalgic and, in my opinion, very relaxing way of traveling and seeing the country.
People are so sweet, man. I swear to God, on train journeys, you see the best of India.
However, the acceptance of dogs, and especially street dogs, is not always a given in public spaces. Previously, I've traveled on Indian Railways to many destinations in many different trains and in many different classes. I've also taken my dog Bambi on trips before, but never have I ever done an Indian Railways train journey with my dog, and apparently that is possible.
I adopted Bambi 2 years ago and she has already been on quite some road trips. She is definitely a travel doggo, but I've never taken her on a train journey.
The fact that Indian Railways allows dogs to come on a train journey is quite commendable, but there are definitely some restrictions and rules that you have to abide by in order to bring your dog on board safely.
Hey.
Throughout this journey, we'll take a look at the conditions and restrictions of traveling with a dog on an Indian train. But also, I'm very curious if Bambi is going to even like traveling on an Indian train and how taking her with me changes my experience of Indian Railways.
Wow, that was hectic.
Is it safe to walk around the platform? Are people scared of dogs, in particular a street dog? And will she be comfortable in a small space for 24 hours? Only one way to find out. Let's start with preparing the documents and making a reservation, as that's pretty much 50% of the admin work of getting Bambi on board of the train. Personally, I'd do anything to not have to put my dog in a cage on a flight whenever I want to take her between cities. Also, my dog Bambi gets nauseous in a car, and hence a journey with Indian Railways seems the most comfortable for her to travel between cities. But what's needed to get her on board? Well, the first restriction is that dogs can only travel on Indian Railways in the first class. So you have to book a 1AC ticket. However, there's a catch here. There are 2 and 4 berth cabins in first class. And if you get the 4 cabin one but have only booked 2 tickets like I did, you may have a massive problem if any of the other passengers has a problem with a dog in the cabin. In order to mediate this risk, you have to write a letter to Indian Railways and submit it 24 hours in advance saying you're traveling with a dog and request a 2 berth cabin. They're not obliged to give you this, obviously, so you'll only know for sure if this will happen when the cabins are allotted, which happens on the day of travel. In case you don't get a 2 berth cabin and another passenger does not accept your dog in the 4 berth cabin, your dog will have to travel separately and you won't be able to visit them for the entire journey. Honestly, this instantly gives me shivers because I'm extremely protective of my fur baby, but let's keep it positive and hope for the best, shall we? First, we have to reach the station safely and separately buy Bambi a ticket at the counter based on her weight. Also, I've done my homework on how to manage the dog on the train station, but I am curious how the walking situation will work if a platform is full with other passengers. Reaching the station, it appears that I've completely missed an important document needed to allow Bambi on board. A health certificate from my vet. Oh my goodness, this is not the stress you want last minute when already you have so many things to take care of while traveling with your dog. Luckily, I got at the train station 4 hours in advance instead of the advised 3 hours, and I have a vet who knows my dog Bambi very well. She prepares the document, and in true peak Bangalore style, I can send a last mile courier to pick up the document. This is an experience that I 10 do not recommend, so make sure to have a health certificate in advance before going to the train station. With all the documents in place, Bambi now has her own ticket based on her weight, which costs 632 rupees, but we still don't know if we got the 2 berth cabin and if she'll be able to travel with me.
Bambi?
So I'm just enjoying one victory at a time and heading to the platform for a walk. Bambi seems extremely relaxed, but it also helps that first-class ticket holders get access to a separate lounge which is not as crowded as the regular platform. For Bambi's travels, I always take her own blankets with me so she has a familiar, comfortable scent with her and can feel safe. But this consideration for safety also goes for other passengers. Being a good dog owner means that you must acknowledge that some people are simply really scared of dogs. And in Bambi's case, she also doesn't like everyone petting her. Hence why I always pick a quiet corner and make sure that my dog as well as other passengers are enough separated to guarantee everyone's comfort. With Bambi being a street dog, many fellow passengers are surprised how quiet she is and very fuss-free. But they do sometimes look at me like I'm crazy for keeping a street dog as a pet. Whenever Bambi gets restless, we take a stroll on the platform outside. Now, I'm traveling with my husband, so he's watching our luggage, but if you're traveling solo, the whole luggage watching might be a challenge. Here's where I'd 100% recommend hiring a porter in advance who will help escort you to the waiting lounge, but also later on help you board the train. It cost us 500 rupees, and you'll see later on in the video why this was worth every single rupee. It was a whole stressful episode on its own because you only get 3 minutes to board the train with your dog and luggage. But I'll get to that in a bit. First, let's see how Bambi reacts to passing trains on the platform. She's definitely not a fan of the loud noise, the train horn, and the wind. Yikes! I hope she feels safe enough to board that big metal house on wheels in a bit. For now, our biggest challenge is navigating the street dogs in and around the platform. They're not necessarily aggressive, but Bambi is a fighter when it comes to other street dogs, and she is definitely the first one to initiate the barking. Normally, it wouldn't be an issue because whenever I lift her like a baby, she stops and any street dogs also back down after that. However, I'm pregnant and not allowed to carry her. So I'm just hyper aware of our surroundings and make sure we stay at a safe distance away from other street dogs. In all honesty, I absolutely adore Indian train platforms with their hustle and bustle, many food options, and the promise of adventure. This is a great start to our journey and time just flies by. But we still have to board the train and we'll only have 3 minutes in total to do that. Also, did we get a 2-berth cabin and will Bambi be able to travel with me? Let's see.
Bambi? Bambi? Pumba? Pumba cha? Hello? Bambi?
The biggest relief washes over me when we get the information about the allotted cabin and it seems like we got a 2-berth cabin. Woohoo! Our journey seems to be off with a great start.
Especially if you are with a dog, I would 10 recommend you to hire a porter. Our porter was paid 500 rupees. I don't know if that is on the higher end, but he helped us with the luggage right from the beginning. He got us to the waiting room, which I didn't even know existed. Last time when I was here with Neha, we just waited on a platform. So you also need to know that if you're traveling first class, there's a separate waiting room. He also knew exactly where the train would stop, so you were in front of the right compartment. Getting inside was just hectic because there was a lot of luggage, and then I also have to take care of Bambi, make sure that she doesn't run off. Once inside, the coupe is really nice. I mean, you have 2 berths, it is private, you can lock the door. Obviously, it is not soundproof, so you can definitely hear your neighbors. There's enough light, there's so many amenities actually. There's a mirror, there's charging, which is usually there in Indian trains everywhere. The only thing that I've noticed here is that there's not a power supply continuously, so keep that in mind. It was shut off for me in 20 minutes. But Bambi is really comfortable, and I think she's enjoying herself. She was barking a little bit when people walk by. That is something that she does, but in general, she doesn't bark at all. She's a very, very calm doggy, very curious doggy. She listens very well.
My only concern for now is if she can stay in such a small space for 24 hours and if she'd try to run away if she got the chance.
Bambi? Cheers. I think they actually make the bed for you. And also a new thing, they've added towels to the sheets, so that's awesome. That was not there last time when Neha and me took the train. The sheets look really nice, very fresh. Indian Railways is really good like that. And I am very excited to get a good night of sleep and tomorrow see beautiful, beautiful Maharashtra. Oh, did I just spoil where we are going? Hey.
Imagine an indie dog on the loose in first class and the reactions of the other passengers. My goodness. Luckily, Bambi seems to be completely calm, is eating well, and drinking some water. We'll have to walk her on a platform first thing in the morning because there's no chance she'll go inside. She's extremely conscious and literally never does her business inside, so overnight she should be good with her bladder and bowel movements in control.
Bambi? I'm just exhausted. They did have food. You could order food, so that was nice. I didn't expect that. I don't think Udyan Express has food. Maybe it's like not food included and you can just order. I don't mind as long as there's food available. That is the best part, because last time when I was on a train with Neha, same Udyan Express first class.
On this train, the Udyan Express, there is actually no food included.
There was barely any food and it was a little bit of a shocker. This time I came prepared. Bring your own snacks. There is no dog food on the train. You will have to bring your own dog food. Plus, also keep in mind that maybe you want to feed your dog a little bit less. Maybe you want to make them fast for 24 hours. I'm feeding Bambi a lot less. I'm not making her fast completely because I don't think she needs that. But yeah, I definitely don't want her overeating because obviously that's gonna have an effect on her bowel movements. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wind down for the night. This was stressful. Like, getting in a train is stressful. I was not prepared for that. See you in the morning, guys. One thing that you also have to keep in mind, on the train tracks or around the train station, there are stray dogs. And if it's just one or two stray dogs, that's fine. But we ran into 3 dogs, what I thought initially. They started barking. Bambi started barking. So Bambi seems like a very calm dog, but she is a street bee. She loves to fight and she picks the fight. I am going to defend my child at all times, but she picks fights, so that is not good. At one point I looked around and it was definitely 8 to 10 street dogs like around the train tracks, and I was like, run, because if these dogs come after you, nobody can save you. Make sure that your dog is comfortable with the stray dogs, and if you have a dog like me who likes to pick fights, just run away because you don't want 8 to 10 dogs attacking you. Like, somebody's not going to survive that. Well, it is 5 p.m. samosa time. It is a little bit rainy outside, gloomy. This is a very different trip than the trip that I took with Neha, and mainly because this Udyan Express doesn't have too many stops, which are 10 minutes long, which is really the time that you need to walk your dog outside and let them, do their business. There are only 2 10-minute stops and maybe like 3, 4, 5-minute stops, which just makes it really, really hard to attend to your dog's needs. So I'm just constantly stressed whenever there is a 5-minute stop or 10-minute stop coming up. I have no time to think about chai or about getting food or those kind of things. Like, I have to make sure that she goes potty outside. She is completely potty trained, so she will definitely not go into the train, but obviously that is also hurting her, right? So you want to make sure that your pet is also comfortable. Finally, now I had time to get a samosa. Hopefully some chai is also coming, and mostly Bambi, we both have been sleeping all day because I feel this experience is quite stressful. Maybe it's just this Udyan Express, which doesn't have too many long stops, because I've seen people doing train journeys with their dogs and they're very chill about it, and I'm like, until now, yes, it's chill while you're chilling in the coupe with your dog and everything. And honestly, Indian Railways, massive kudos to you for the way you have sorted this, because I think it's the least amount of disturbance to other passengers by letting dogs only come in a first class coupe. However, the short stops with the train, and obviously I do not expect Indian Railways to adjust their schedule to me and my dog, but I am just saying that if you are a pet owner and you think that this is a super relaxing exercise, that for me right now is the biggest bottleneck, the short stops, and she just needs like 10-15 minutes time to do her business. So a 5-minute stop is just really stressful. And obviously you also don't want them to do their business like in the middle of your train station where everybody is sitting and maybe having their drinks or food or stuff like that. So in order to walk a little bit away from the crowds also takes some time. Has been stressful. So in between we have been resting, we have been sleeping a lot. Bambi is very comfortable. Only when she hears the sounds, the train horn, which I love, she starts shivering and shaking and those kind of things. But yeah, time for a little break, my friends. Cheers. Hopefully the chai will come soon too. I'm trying my life. Whew. Oh my gosh, what about? Yes. I am normally not a huge vada pav fan, but I've been just craving it for the past 5 hours. And when you really want something, then the vendor will not come. Usually the vendor comes like every single hour, especially because we're in Maharashtra, the place where the vada pav is best. And now I finally have a vada pav. Cheers. Wait, yes. Oh. That feels good. Okay.
You are going to get good view.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so good.
Wow. Sun is going down now. So it's sunset.
Overall, I'd choose a train over a flight for Bambi any day, and for long distance travel, it's definitely less hassle than doing a road trip. However, I don't think I'd be doing too many train journeys with Bambi for fun because it's simply so stressful with the walks. But for practical purposes, kudos to Indian Railways for arranging it in the most comfortable way for everyone. For more train videos, check the description for the train playlist.